everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Cruise with Esther. I am the host, and my name is Esther Egwavoin. So, today on this episode, we'll be having an exciting guest. You don't want to miss this. You have to watch from start to finish because she is a phenomenal individual. She's a very good source of inspiration, and her story is something that you would really, really learn from. And here I have my dear Sister Karine Antoine-Tuffour. So she'll be here sharing with us her real life story. In fact, on this channel, we are all about sharing real life experiences. So she's going to give us her own experiences from her perspective. And don't leave this show. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. So, Sister Karen, thank you so much for having us on this show.
Thank you. I'm really humble. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really a great honor, and I really appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. So before we dive deep into it, I just want to ask you, like, where are you originally from, and how long have you been in the US?
Okay. So I was originally born in Cameroon.
Oh,
My mom brought me to France when I was 2 years old. So I lived my whole life in France, all the way to 19 years old. And I came to America in about 2006. So I think I've been in America maybe 14 years.
Oh, nice. Wow. So I'm sure you speak very fluent French.
Yes, but my mom would not say the same.
Ah?
She said, "Oh my God, your French, is he Frank English? What are you saying?"
Oh, nice. So how was your stay in France? Because I studied in France, so I did
Yes.
my master's program there for a few years.
So
And I loved it.
actually, I didn't really want to leave France, but my uncle, when he was here, when he was alive, told me that France is good, but America is greater.
Oh,
And he always brag about, because he used to work at Intel, he always say that when you're in America, there's so much opportunities for we people of color.
okay.
Like you can go to school and still not feel discriminated because of who you are, where you come from, or your background. So that's one thing that caught my attention.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, they always say America is the land of milk and honey.
Yes.
And like you rightly said, it's filled with a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm a testimony to that. So, I really agree to that. And of course, you made a good decision
Yes.
moving over here. Wow. Okay. So, moving on to the next question, like what motivates you to become a better person?
So I will fast forward when I came to America. When you're young, you come to you go to school, but you don't really know your purpose. So I was a little bit rebellious and stubborn. So I was going to school, but not really knowing what's my purpose, what's my future. I was just doing it to make my mom happy and people stay out of, my affairs. But I didn't really know the importance why you need to go to school until I met my husband, my boyfriend at the time at Sierra College. That's where we met. And when you don't really have education, let's be honest, it's not to look down anybody, but it's really hard. Like you work minimum wage, and it's hard, especially when you have two little ones. So I started in a small room with my husband at my in-laws' house, and it was hard. Sometimes I had like tears in my eyes. I want to do better, but how? And that's when I say, I think I found a solution to go back to school.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you said, if you don't have your education, you just go, do the minimum wage. And sometimes too, I think it also depends on the individual.
Yes.
Because some people are kind of like comfortable where they are. They
Yes.
don't want to push themselves to get more.
Mhm,
But like you said, this life, you have two kids, so those were actually what motivated you as well, because you want to give them a better life.
Yes.
So that really drove you to go into that.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, definitely.
Oh, kids, so talking about motherhood, were you prepared before you started the journey?
Oh no, and I don't want my daughter to watch that, but she was an accident. So I can't have faith because I say, Jesus, I need food on this one.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was all about me, a little bit selfish. put my wig, makeup,
Yeah.
always me. When I have money, I go shopping, always me. So when I had my daughter, oh my God.
Oh,
What do you mean? I cannot go shower without, like, properly shower
yeah.
without somebody crying? It
Yeah.
changed
Everything.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. And it's a lot of sacrifices. And
You
you
can
give
say
up a
that again.
little of your freedom.
Yeah, you can say that again. So, so far, how would you describe your motherhood experience?
It is actually, even though I didn't prepare, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed me for the best.
Yeah,
Let me say that.
yeah. I'm a mother too, so
You can relate.
yeah, I can relate. Like it's the best experience one can ever have, and it really changes you. It teaches you a whole lot of things you
Mm,
don't even know about yourself. It
mhm,
helps you realize that. Wow.
mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
what has been the greatest lesson? Like, if you are being asked, like, what's one thing you've really learned being a mother? What would that be?
To be honest, I'm not gonna portray I'm perfect, but I'm not patient. I'm not. But one thing, I'm still working on it. But one thing, being a mother actually taught me how to be patient. I will be the kind of person, I will go on a driveway and somebody don't understand my English and I start getting irritated and want to respond to that.
Yeah.
And then when I look back and I see my kids, yeah, let me repeat again. For the last second, yeah,
Yeah.
because this is a true life story. One time before that time happened, I actually went to Carl's Jr. at the fast food, right? And I was a little bit not rude, but short with the lady. And my daughter, Faith, was like 5 probably. And she said, Mommy, you didn't have to be rude like that.
Wow.
And I didn't know, me, I always have something to say. I didn't know what to say. If I was like, I was really uncomfortable because your daughter,
Yeah. For her
like,
to say,
humbling you and
yeah,
teaching you manners. And from that moment, I said, I would never, ever let my daughter teach me how to behave in public because it's kind of like,
yeah.
so
You should be the one, teaching
exactly.
them.
And then it put in my perspective, like you always want to be the best in front of your kids. So wherever they see, they copy.
Yeah.
They will copy the good and the bad. And that's when I realized, oh my God, they watching me for real.
Yeah. 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 That's true. I mean, I totally agree to what you said because however we live our life, these kids, whether we like it or not, we are their mentors. Like the
Mm-hmm.
first mentor that they ever encounter, because whatever we do, that's what they want to also emulate. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to live as good examples, of course, if you want your kids
Yes.
to live a good life. Oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good experience. So, I mean, so far, what have you gained being a mother and what have you also lost? Because, motherhood changes a whole lot. Let's
Yes.
be real with
Yes.
ourselves. Like, it changes a whole lot. There are some things, some plans you must have had for yourself, but, motherhood changed some things or made you let go of some things. So,
Yes.
what are the things that you really gained? Of course, there's the positive side of it as well, and
Yeah.
what you think you've lost.
Definitely I lost my freedom.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was more about me, and now I realize when I go to the store, when I go shopping, I'm not lying. 80% is for my children or my husband, and I put myself very last. I don't remember the last time I go to shopping, only shop for me without feeling guilty. I cannot
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I will start doing it. No, today is for me. And then I go there, you don't really need this. You don't really need this. And then I start focusing on she don't have shoes for
Mm-hmm.
sport. She don't have that for school. And oh, my
Mm-hmm.
husband need deodorant. All this. And then next thing you know, I have a tiny little, like, little thing for myself.
Oh yeah.
And I really like freedom will be one of the things. But one thing I've gained is wisdom.
Okay.
Wisdom. Because now I don't think just for me, I think what will affect my children.
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
when I do something, or even in life, relationships, is really important. The way we are all, for example, at church, everywhere I go, I think what will impact my children.
Yeah.
So when I have discussion or how I behave, I know it will affect greatly
True.
or badly my children.
Yeah.
So I when I speak with anybody, I make sure that I choose words wisely so my children are not affected by, for example, something that I say, and then my daughter goes to that person and the person is rude. She don't understand. Oh, why? Because she and I or he and I had a bad encounter. You see?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's true. No, I didn't even think about it like that way. If I'm being asked like what I've gained, truly, like you said, wisdom, because you use that to be able to, live your daily life actually, especially when you have your kids around. You have to be very wise in decisions in what you say to,
Exactly.
so it doesn't really affect them
Yes.
negatively.
Yes, even like I can say more about it when I live with my in-law.
Yeah.
Living with your in-law is
Oh,
not
yeah.
easy, you know?
Yeah.
And I thank God for their life. They have been such a great help till this point. But one thing when I wanted to leave and they didn't understand why I want to leave, we have a big house. You should just stay there.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it was a personal choice. It was for me, for the best for my children.
Yeah.
But today, they clearly saw my vision.
Yeah.
And now they at my house all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But even to make that decision, I had to be wise while doing it. Because if you don't do it wisely, it can destroy the relationship I
Yeah.
have with them. But because I did such in a good manner that them and I are still in good
Yeah, in
terms.
good terms. Yeah, you're very right. I mean, living with in-laws, like it takes the grace of God and wisdom to be able to live peacefully
Yes,
with your
yes,
in-laws.
yes.
Wow, that's great. I mean, you made a great, and of course, it's, your family. You want to build, your relationship with your husband, your kids. So it's good sometimes to have your own like
Yes,
privacy.
privacy. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's the
that's good.
word.
Oh, wow. So, like you said, you decided to go back to school,
Yes.
to be able to be a better version of yourself. So how were you able to cope? Like okay, first of all, I'll ask, when did you go back to school?
It was actually in 2018. Something happened in my marriage where, no marriage is perfect, right?
Oh, yeah.
And by that time, my husband is mostly the most provider. And in relationship, nothing is perfect. And I felt to myself, am I just gonna die as a wife and a mother? Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
say, oh no, I felt like I wasn't where I want to be in life. Although my husband provide everything till this day, but I felt like I had no voice. Why am I in this earth? Just to be a wife and mother?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I wanted more, and also I used to be a cashier, and there's good and bad days. So the bad days make you check, like, okay, you need to do something with your life. And I felt really pity for myself. And I was like, no, no, no. Remember Karen, like
Yeah.
I used to be able to get up and go shopping and do this. It's not about just shopping that, but I had the freedom and choose what I want, what I don't want. But now I felt like I was caged, like I have no choice but to do this or do that. And being at the mercy of something,
Yeah.
that's not the best feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally understand, because sometimes even if they make you, I mean, like your husband will make you feel, oh, it's not a problem, even if you are not working, but deep within you, you just be like, oh, I'm not really contributing.
Yes, yes,
Even if your voice is being heard, but you also think your voice is not being heard, and because you feel you don't have that sense of independence.
yes, yes.
So, yeah.
And I was working, right? And my husband would never complain, but I felt like ashamed of where I was. Because remember, I came in America, I came with my uncle, and the goal was for me to have my bachelor. But because I was stubborn, my bachelor was my children. So I didn't listen. And those were the consequences of me not listening to elders, to my mother, to my uncle and aunties. So when I was living now as a cashier, struggling paycheck to paycheck, I was like, oh, see, they told you,
Yeah.
but you didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
Now this is the result. And I always tell people it's never too late.
Yeah.
As long as you have life, there's hope. So I make a quick U-turn.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I decided. I went one day, ding ding, something clicked in my head. I went to Sierra College where I got my associate degree, and I wanted my transcript. And because I wanted still to work, because my husband and I need to work.
Yeah.
So I found a school, Grand Canyon University. It's online. So I say, perfect. They will allow me to do the online as
Yeah.
a full-time and go to school.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's when I started all the process just like that.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I mean, if I remember, how many kids do you have?
4.
4. Wow. So you already had your 4 kids before you started going to school?
Yes, actually, love was barely 1 or 2 months.
When you started?
Yes.
Oh my God. So you have left a little one, and you didn't even think of the fact that, oh, will I be able to? Because of course you were breastfeeding,
Yes.
sleepless nights, because
Yes.
when you give birth to a newborn, of
Yes.
course your sleep is like
Yes.
1 hour maybe.
Yes.
And you really thought about like starting. Wow.
That's actually love was one of the reason why. The way I did with Faith, Tara, I say I don't want to make the same mistake with the third and the fourth one. The way the condition we live with my in-law, that wasn't terrible, but living in a small room, 4 of us, I told myself, even though we were in a better position when the third and the fourth came, I told myself I don't want to give them that lifestyle. They didn't choose to be here. So I'm the type of person, when I start something, I finish it.
Wow.
I don't like unfinished business. That I don't know, I'm weird like that. Even actually at my job, that's the reason why I stand out among the crowd is I don't like to do something when I don't see result or unfinished business. That's not me.
Wow.
Yeah, I like, and it was
very-
hard, but I say I must go on. It must go on.
Wow. I mean, that's very, I mean, I applaud you for that, because I don't think having a newborn and then deciding to go to school at that point, when you already have kids, so you know how it is, and you still made that decision.
Yes.
I mean, it's very, I mean, you're a very, very strong woman.
Thank you.
So how
Thank
are you
you.
able to manage, since you already have 4 kids, you have a husband, you have a home to run, you have work. So how are you able to balance it?
I always tell people organization, planning, time management. And believe me, Love was still a baby, but then when she turned 3 months, including going to the gym, because it's important.
Oh
When
my
you
God.
don't have a healthy
Yeah.
body, you cannot have a healthy mind.
True.
So for me, jogging, working out 3 times a week, it helps me balance my daily life. Otherwise, I would feel incomplete, and it will not give me the strength. For some reason, working out helped me accomplish every task during the day.
Oh, really?
And so I will go to work, for example, I'll give you an example. I will go to work, right? But I already know what kind of assignment I have. During my break, I will read 10 minutes of something. Another break, I do some of my homework. When like I'm at the cashier and let's say there's no customer, I will write down all the answers for my assignment, you know? So when I get home now, my husband, obviously, thank God, he was really supportive. He will cook or start with the homework. So when I come, I would just go work out. And then when I come, I finish up the start of the homework that I did throughout my day. And then next thing you know, by 9, 10, I'm done.
Wow.
And every day, and one thing with me, I'm consistent.
Okay.
So when I'm like, every day I will do the same routine, and for some reason it will stick. And that's how I'm able to incorporate my cleaning day, my laundry day, my wife duty, my mother duty. I know it seems impossible, but when you put everything on paper, like Pastor said this morning, you have to write down. Because when you write down, you have a vision of what you have to achieve today. And it feels so good when you say, clean the bathroom, did my homework.
Yeah.
It feels so good to cross everything from your list.
Yeah.
And once you've done that, you're like, tomorrow, I'm back at it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes.
I mean, this thing you just said, I mean, it's also a lesson for me too, because honestly, I started the gymming thing and then I stopped at a point. But like you said, it really is your, because that's the time you actually have to clear your mind, to
Mm-hmm.
clear your head. All you think about is, the way forward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the way forward, but whenever I go, walking or
Mm-hmm.
jogging, I just think about the future.
Yes.
I have that ease of mind. The breeze blowing you, it's
It's
just,
your you time
yeah,
alone
yeah,
with no distraction.
true.
Like, me, that's why I say like I get my nails done. It's probably madness, but it's also my mean time
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
So some people they do yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I do my nails because I massage, and then it turned out to be cute.
Yeah, oh, I mean, yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So it's
added
like
beauty.
it's both combination.
Yeah.
It's my madness every
Mm-hmm.
day, and then also my for a long time, and no kids are around. My husband is not there. They know not to call my phone, and they know,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
mommy is at the nails, and you have to have that. It's not. I used to feel bad, but as a mother, you need to balance everything. Otherwise, you will lose it, and one day you will scream. Your kids will look at you like,
Ooh,
what's
what?
going on with that woman?
Yeah,
But you need to have your time.
yeah, yeah. I need to incorporate that
Yes.
into my life.
Maybe not nails, but
Yeah,
find something
some.
that you like
Mm-hmm.
and it's for you alone, and that's your alone time.
Yeah, and
You will
I
thank
mean,
me
not,
later.
yeah, and not just something stress-free, something, like you said,
Yes.
pedicure, of course, you're relaxing and you're doing your
Yes.
nails. So stress-free
Yes.
activity. I'll look for something
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So, you said you have four kids, for all girls or
Yes.
mix? Oh, all
Oh,
girls.
girls. Oh,
Wow,
girls.
girls. I don't know. I just want to believe it's still not happening. Cameroon, you guys are like neighboring countries with
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yes. Yes.
So, like in my country, I remember one of my friend then. I mean, it's an obvious thing though. Everybody feels like when you have a male child, that's when you feel recognized, that you're a
Mm.
parent.
Mm-hmm,
Actually, in
mm-hmm,
the men most times want to have like male child.
mm-hmm,
And even if you don't have, like for me, my mom, we're all girls. So I
mm-hmm.
can remember sometimes, some, men, like some family people, they'll be like, oh, you just have a girls, why don't you try again? Maybe you might
Mm-hmm.
have a boy, because they value like you must have a son to carry your name.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's still happening now, but that mentality of that, kids, you treat them the same, because you
Yes.
don't even know, you might have all girls, you might have all boys, it's still the same.
Yes.
You understand? You treat them the same. So what if you have mixed kids? Are you going to say, okay, you're going to give preference to the girls and, less preference to the boys, or, you give one more preference?
Yeah.
It's not done that way. So, I mean, what do you think, or how do you feel having all female
To
kids?
be honest, I understand somewhere. I understand where they're coming from in terms of having the legacy live on
Yeah.
because of
The name, I
the
mean,
name.
yeah.
That I can relate to that, and that's one thing I was a little bit down when we found out it was another girl, because I was like, who's gonna live on with the Tuffour? Like, the name
The name,
Tuffour, like
yeah.
me, it's Antoine-Tuffour.
Yeah.
But to have that Tuffour legacy live on,
Yeah.
it may not happen because they are all girls. But when it comes to equality, I don't believe because we are all girls that I will not amount because or make my parents proud because I'm a woman. Sometimes that woman can be as much as aggressive than a
That is,
male. You
yeah,
see?
true.
So for that, I don't think it's fair for us because some women are actually more successful than some men.
True. Very
know?
true.
And and
Very true.
and for example, my husband can even testify. He sometimes say that behind me, there's a successful woman, there's a strong woman.
Yeah.
A
A successful man.
successful man, there's a strong woman.
Yeah,
And who is it? Me, I'm a woman.
of course.
Because my husband is more mellow, but me, I'm the aggressor. I push for things. We need now.
Yeah.
And him is like, oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So are you gonna tell me because I'm a woman?
You have to be calm and don't say
You see?
anything. Yeah.
No, we have the same right. We can have different gifts. So don't make me feel like because I'm a woman, I cannot achieve anything. Because
Yeah.
if anything, my husband often say, if it wasn't for the way you were, I don't think we
Yeah.
would be where we are.
Yeah.
Because me, I don't shy away. When I want something, I go for it.
Wow. 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 That's very, I mean, having both male and female kids is the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. You have to give them the same opportunity.
Yes, yes, yes,
Wow. Yeah.
yes.
That's great. Like, so your kids, do you have any teenager?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Not really teenager. She's 13. Teenager here is what, 14, 15?
yeah, I think about from 13 to 15, 16.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
so I do have
Oh,
a teenager.
yeah, I'm saying I'm 100% sure because I don't have any. So, but I know, I mean, is that age because actually research actually shows that peer influence try to tend increase or get to its peak at the age of 15.
Mm-hmm,
So like when you have like teenage girls or boys, it's that age is kind
mm-hmm,
of like where you have to put in more effort because these kids kind of tend to be influenced here.
mm-hmm,
So I mean, your daughter is 13,
mm-hmm,
so she's already getting there. I mean,
mm-hmm.
so how do you teach her, or how do you teach her to handle peer pressure?
So fast forward that before she was 13, she went to a kindergarten school and she used to be bullied. Every time she would come home, cry, and don't want to go back to school.
Oh,
And me,
really?
I'm the
Wow.
kind of parents I don't really seek for approval or friendship. So I drill in her head, as long as you have God, your family, your siblings, that's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah.
So I drilled that from the moment that she was bullied to
Oh,
her head. So now, even though she's shy, but if she don't want to do something, she won't allow people to mislead her. But my second daughter that is 12, she act tough, but sometimes she is influenced by outsider.
oh,
So
okay.
it's actually my second daughter that I have
Mm-mm.
to talk to her constantly. Tell her, like, let's say today, dad and I, God forbid, we don't have money to afford for this house. Do you think your friends will come and give you burger,
Mhm.
or they will buy your school, or they
Yeah.
will buy tennis shoes?
Yeah.
No, you have to look for yourself. You're not going to school to please people or be the popular one. I don't care. You're
Yeah.
there to learn and become somebody.
True.
So whatever your friends are doing, don't go because you didn't know how to say no. You know how
Yeah.
to say no to me.
Oh, yeah.
When I tell you to fold your clothes,
Yeah.
why you don't? You see?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. So I mean, you use what of course you have to talk to them like all the time, but like you said, you use that example. They can tell their parents no, like when you ask
Mm-hmm.
them to do something
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but when it comes to, and of course they should also know what is good and what is bad.
Yes.
Because sometimes, like I read they have like positive peer pressure
Mm-hmm.
and negative. So I mean, either positive or negative, I feel you shouldn't. I mean, you of course you want to do the good things, you want to
Mm-hmm.
do the right things, but you should know within you if it's the right thing to do.
Yes, and she knows better because
Yeah,
the way my children are not perfect, but the way I raised them, the value that my mom taught me,
yeah,
you know, being humble, being kind to one
yeah,
another, be respectful, be a nice person. Like you see an older person, you're not gonna push them,
yeah,
you know. So she knows, but for some reason, because she has the pressure her friends are asking her to do, she don't know how to say no because she don't want to offend her friends.
yeah,
But you offend me every day.
yeah.
So the same way you have those guts with me, you need to apply with your friends because if anything, I'm more important
Done them. Yeah.
than them.
So you choose. You want
Yeah,
me or you want your
yeah,
friends.
because you cannot please your friend and me, I'm not happy because you didn't clean your room, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It seems like my second daughter have a hard time disappointing her friends. And I always tell her friends come and go. I'm a
yeah,
witness. I don't have friends.
yeah,
So I tell her friends will come and go. but you have to be solid about your values, your morals. So when people come talk to you, they don't just brainwash you and you
Yeah.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
This world is tough. You need to stand on your 2 feet
Oh,
because you will do what you don't want to do, and the next you know, oh, she
oh,
made me do it.
yeah.
And now God knows where you will end up because
True.
she made you do it. So they will tell you jump, so you jump.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to use your common sense and what mommy and daddy taught you.
Yeah.
So it's a
Wow.
constant work.
Yeah.
We're
It's
not done, but
never ending. So you
yes,
just keep talking and
yes,
talking and
never
talking.
stop. Sometimes I feel like, oh Lord,
Yeah.
you gave me 4 trouble.
I mean, I know I'm getting there. So yeah, I also need that advice. So, sometimes it might be tiring.
Hmm.
You just have to keep
And
doing.
one thing I want to say about repeating, one time I didn't go to work, and I don't know oh yes, my husband's car needed to be serviced. So I dropped him to work, and then I didn't go to work, but then I told my 2 oldest, you guys shower and don't worry, I will bath Ashley and Love. To my surprise, coming back, they bath the 2 little sister. They
Mm,
make breakfast. They
really?
put the bed. On a regular day, I will be screaming on top of my head, you do this. But when I didn't expect, and I had tears in my eyes, not because it's
Oh,
so huge, but because the thing I've been talking is finally getting there.
and
I'm
oh,
so jealous. Hallelujah.
oh,
Do you see?
that's
And that's why I never stop talking, because one day eventually
yeah,
it will click and they will
yeah,
get it
yeah,
because they got that part. So
yeah.
on to the next.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
nice, nice, nice. I really love that because, oh, kids, sometimes you keep talking and talking and it will look as if they don't listen. But like you said, you didn't even expect that they do
No.
that. So all the things you've been talking about it to them, screaming, it still gets into their head.
They say, and one thing, I don't remember when I taught my daughters how to make up or do their hair, but they're looking at me.
Hmm.
How I dress, even the dressing style, I don't know where they get that. They're looking at me.
Yeah,
Because I don't remember sitting down with them and say, oh,
you
you
have
have
to,
to do your hair like this.
yeah.
You have to do my... One day, next thing you know, they were a baby and now they
Hmm.
do their own hair. I don't have to do the ponytail. They pick up outfit. And I was
Outfits.
like,
Oh,
oh, they're
wow.
truly looking at me and doing their own thing with their own style.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, like we earlier said, we are our kids' mentors. Like whatever we do, that's the same thing that they really want to do
Yes,
because that's the thing they copy and they emulate. Oh, wow.
yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes.
earlier you mentioned that, you were kind of stubborn and now you're a whole new different, I mean, from what you said, you are a whole new different, better version
Yes.
of how you used to be. So now what does your mom think or your family think about you now?
Don't get me wrong. I'm still stubborn, but I use that stubbornness in a good way and
Okay.
my advantage. But one thing that um, my mom, she used, when I came to America, I came with my cousin, and she used to compare me a lot to my cousin because she's more mellow. She's not like confrontational like me, and she listened. So adult, they like that. You say
Yeah.
jump, she will jump. She say sit, she will sit. But me, why? No. Ah, when? Ah, just keep quiet, do it. So none of my auntie uncle liked it. But now looking back, my mom, when she now she's in school, she told me something that really put tears in my eyes. She said, out of all my stubborn kids, you really the one that shocked me.
Oh,
Because I always pray that, oh, hopefully she don't meet like a man that is abusive, because my mouth can be too much. If she's talking with she said, thank God she met a good man.
oh,
But she said that the way I turn out, I use, and that's why I always tell people, don't say you have default, you have negative character. Use wherever is your weakness as your strength.
yeah.
So when you know that, for example, my weakness, I'm stubborn, so now you work on that and use that to your advantage. And that's what I did by going back to school, because it's kind of like a stubborn trait, like, oh, I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
and I will prove them wrong.
Yeah.
You see? So
Yeah.
I used that for my advantage, and it worked out.
Yeah.
So now as I'm older, my mom realized that I'm still about the same, more mellow, wiser, but I use whatever was my weakness, my downfall before, as my advantage.
Oh wow, wow. That's
So she
that's
told me
great.
that she is proud, and coming from my mom, African people don't really tell you I love you.
Yeah.
So when she said that, I say, hello,
Ah!
hello, the phone is ringing.
Oh. Yes,
Yes,
there's nothing like hearing a mother tell you good things about yourself
yes.
and feeling, saying that they are proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it brings, it's tears of joy, but you feel so fulfilled that if your mom could tell you something like that, that means you're actually doing the best because
Yes,
she is the only, sure person that will tell you the truth and
yes,
exactly how she feels.
yes,
Oh
yes,
wow.
yes, yes.
So, looking back, what would you have done better as a mom?
Maybe be more patient,
Okay.
because now I'm trying to change, but it's hard because I already set the path. Like, for example, my sister came to visit like 2 years ago or a year ago, last summer,
Okay.
and she said, oh my God, I need to pray. I'm going to the military's house. And I was like, that's why your brother and sister, yeah, they don't want to wake up at 6, make the bed, make this, make that. And because I'm so disciplinary person and I'm so organized, so clean, so I've drilled that in the head that when you come to my house, you're not
Yeah,
on vacation. You have to make the bed, you
you
have
have
to
to do.
cook at this time, you have to do. That's how I do it in my house. And for some reason, I say, oh, I need to be more patient. When they came before, or with even my own children, I felt like I need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like my expectations sometimes were too
Yeah.
high, and I need to take it
Easy.
easy. If I have to redo it, I would take it easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me too, when I was single, like if I lay my bed, I sit on the floor, like I don't even want to sit on my bed. So that's how bad it was because I was also very organized.
Mm-hmm.
I iron if you see my wardrobe, everything is well arranged. All my clothes are folded up to the
Mm-hmm.
part,
Mm-hmm.
the part that I even iron like my underwear. That was so bad. And then I started having kids. When they grow up, of course, they, jumping on the bed, jumping on the bed. But after I finish laying the bed, before I even finish, my son will be
Mm-hmm.
he will scream, scream, scream. I'll go lock him in the room, finish laying the bed because of that. But at a point, what are you even? There was a day I was just alone. I laid the bed and I jumped on it because I was like, I mean, I can't keep living my life like this. What if I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
have more kids? Do I drive them because I laid the bed? And, so those are things that
Mm-hmm.
as a mother, some things you just change and let
Yes.
go of those
And that's what I was
characters and
saying,
traits.
slow down, because
Yeah,
even like you finish eating something, you wash it right away.
yeah,
And my kids say, Mommy, it's just a spoon. Okay, it's just a spoon.
yeah.
You have to, like certain things you have to let go, but certain things I won't.
Oh yeah. There are some that.
But I definitely would have, like, I'm still working on that because like the way I am with my children, we are open. We're talking like friends, and they tell me what they don't like about me. So
Nice.
I'm working on it with them. I tell them what I don't like, what they do that triggers me to scream, and what they don't like in me. And I listen, even though it's like paining my ears. I'm like,
Yeah,
keep quiet, I'm your mom. But I just be open
open. Yeah,
and listen, because I feel like with no communication, there's no growth, there's
yeah,
no change.
sure.
So I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to change whatever they don't like. So they are pleased and they want to come home and they want to
Yeah,
share things with me,
yeah,
and they don't feel like, oh, mom, the military's
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. When you come, I mean, when I was younger, it just reminded me when my dad he just presses the horn because to go open the gate. We all ran into our rooms like, oh my God, we hardly. It's even when I got older, I started. In fact, I think it's when I got married that I started, having that very good relationship with my dad. I
Mm,
can sit with him comfortably. We talk, we
mm,
gist.
yeah.
I was even so shocked. Like he came to spend time with my dad, spend time with me. So those are things that,
Mm-hmm.
I also wouldn't, I would like my kids to be close to me
Yes.
even while they're
Yes.
younger. When we were much younger, I was close to my dad, but at a point it just, like parents, when you have girls,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes at a stage you have to be strict with them
Yes,
because
yes, yes,
they are very susceptible to,
yes.
girls. They're the ones, when they have started having boyfriends, before
Mm-hmm.
pregnancy, all those stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I understand like where my parents too are coming from.
Coming
Like they
from,
have to
yeah.
be strict in some ways so that we have to live like a good, of course,
Yes.
every parent wants the best for their kids. So yeah, I totally get that.
No, because when my sister made that statement, I was
Oh,
like, that's not the best feeling. Some
yeah.
people will feel, yes, they know they don't play in
They,
my house.
yeah.
No, when I self-evaluate myself every day, because even though, I'm proud of my achievement, I'm not self-made. I'm not like, I live on the island. I don't care what people think of me. I'm the one that pay the bills.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
have to self-evaluate yourself, what you're
Hmm.
doing wrong. Even in my relationship with my husband, even with my children, even with my coworker, everywhere, you have to self-evaluate yourself. If you're a good person, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So you don't change just for people, you change for yourself.
True.
And when you do that, there's this peace that comes in.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I feel like screaming, my daughter look at me and then I smile. You
Oh.
know what she did? And then see, by her we joking like that, he avoid my screaming and my nerve popping up my
Oh yeah. Oh.
you see? So it's like
Yeah.
it's a good like workout, like and I'm still working on it, but to avoid me screaming for nothing. And then one day, boom, I
Yeah.
fall. You know?
Sometimes I always say, oh God, let someone not go and get high BP because of kids, because
Yeah.
they're always screaming and screaming.
Yes.
And sometimes some things you just talk to them very calmly and
Yes.
then they just obey. Oh,
It used to be a point that for anything I would scream there, Mommy, I'm just in the living room.
I'll tell you what upstairs. Oh,
But because it's a habit.
yeah,
And that's when I say, oh, I rebuke this habit.
yeah,
Because it's a habit now, you always screaming.
yeah, yeah,
So it becomes a routine in your house. I say, not in my house. I want to be healthy.
yeah.
I don't want it to be
Mm-mm.
dysfunctional. Like we look cute on the outside, but then
But then,
inside is terror, you know? They're like,
yeah.
oh, this woman, don't let her fool you. She's bad.
Oh my God.
So
Oh
yes,
wow.
constantly working on myself for my
Yeah.
children, myself, my husband, to
Mhm.
be a better me.
Oh my God. I mean, I also learned a whole lot because I mean, I have kids and there are some things that you mentioned that I didn't even, not like I didn't really think about it, but like you said, we have to make conscious efforts if we want to become a better person, a
Hmm.
better mom, a better wife, a better friend, a better sister.
Yes,
You have to work on yourself.
yes,
Like you said, we have to do like self-evaluation of ourselves. So
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
I would
yes,
I would look into doing that too.
yes, yes,
Oh my God, Sister Karen, I'm so happy that you are here and you've voiced out these words of inspiration, words of, you remind yourself that this life is not just for yourself.
hmm,
If you have a family, you have to live well for them as
yes,
well.
yes,
So,
yes.
wow,
You have
thank
to
you.
lead by example.
Yeah, you have to live by example. Oh, wow. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sister
you.
Caroline, and
Thank you.
viewers watching. I hope you've learned one or two things. And of course, those of you who are mothers or even fathers too, of course, you have wives or daughters who are mothers as well. Please, can you share your experiences being a mother? What did you gain? What have you lost? What are the good, experiences that you've had? And you can even give us examples on how you were able to navigate, somewhere around because, like I mentioned earlier, peer pressure is a very big thing if you have a daughter, a teenage daughter or a teenage son, you can also share with us in the comment section how you are able to teach them to handle peer pressure in school, sometimes in church, because of course they go to church, they have friends, or anywhere they find themselves. So we'd love to read your comments, and of course we'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and put in your comments in the comment section below. Stay charming, fabulous, healthy, and stay blessed. We'll see you next time in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.